What's up, everyone? Kaine here, Captain of the Daze Pirates, coming back at you with another video this week. Um, I know the ST decks are right around the corner, and I've been getting this question a lot about what cards are most interesting and what things I'm going to be testing going into that. It does seem like it's about time to kind of start prepping for some of that. So today we're going to go through the cards that could see play, which actually I guess are more of them than I had originally realized. Um, but only a couple more realistically. And then I'll actually have some gameplay with a deck list built around some more of these cards in general too. So if you're not aware, every color is getting a new starter deck in about a week and a half here. So not this Friday, but the following Friday. I think it's October 25th is the date or something like that. Um, so with that, a lot of people are getting excited to maybe revisit some of these leaders or wondering where the support goes into RP Luffy. So as I jump into it, if you're not subscribed, please do so. We have a goal for 500 subscribers. At 500 subscribers, we will do a giveaway. I'm thinking slash hoping that will be around the time of '09, so maybe we can do some PRB and or '09 as a part of that giveaway once we hit 500 subs. So we'll talk more about that as we get closer. But I appreciate the support. I love that people have been enjoying these videos, so I'll continue trying to put them out for you. But jumping into it, from the Newgate starter deck, I'm going to dive into a couple of them specifically. So if the text is kind of small here, don't worry about it. What I'm going to kind of brush past pretty quickly is each deck has 5 new cards in it. For the Whitebeard deck, this Atmos is leader locked. This Thatch is leader locked. And this Ace, part of his effect is leader locked. I guess I didn't open this one. He can be um, saved from a removal effect once per turn, which can be nice. But we don't get the rush from him. So RP Luffy could entertain this, but I don't think it's necessary, especially going into '09. We get a better 5-drop in Yasop, which a different video will talk more about that. This ace could be entertained, but I don't quite think so. So for the 2 cards here that I do think could be valid or something that's worth testing for this 8.5 meta is Edward Newgate. He has an on-play to give you arrested down to a character or leader, and maybe just make a 7k swing for us. I'm sorry, he's also a 7-cost 8k with no counter. And then he has activate main, rest this character to KO a 5k or less. If this was a 6k or less, I'd be a little bit more excited about it. Be able to more consistently get things off the board. I still think it's decent. And the reason that I am kind of brushing past this card, or I don't expect it to have very much longevity in the deck, is because Ben Beckman in '09 is a 7-cost 8k with a counter that trashes a 6k or less on play. So again, we'll talk more about that in '09. I do have this in the list that I'm going to be playing today. But I think in general, just other removal options like maybe Rayleigh now, and then probably Ben Beckman later, outclass it. Worth noting with the Blackbeard leader coming in '09, this rest effect and being activate main could be relevant, could be very relevant in that matchup. So something we'll probably talk about as we get into the '09 meta as well. I'll be playing in the list today, like I said. Kingdew, this guy, I was actually didn't really read him fully until today. I don't think, because I think this could be a little bit of utility for us. Obviously, the Straw Hat stuff that's coming is a little bit more directly, and there's a blocker there for us to consider as well. But Kingdew is a 3-cost 4k blocker with 1k counter. And usually the concern with these small blockers is they get removed by effects, like Lucci blows them up for free. But when he does that, our leader gets plus 2,000 for the turn. So like that just gives us a lot of flexibility into what they're doing. To some extent, they could swing first, then pop it after the fact, after you've countered or after you've done whatever. But then if they've done that with any bigger characters, then you've had an opportunity to use it as a blocker. So definitely something there. I don't know. Might not be worth it. Might get outclassed going into kind of where we're going from this. But again, it's in the list that I have for today, and I'm very intrigued by it now that I've kind of read this in more detail. To be able to protect itself or protect you when it gets popped. Then from the ST18 Purple Luffy, I basically have all five of these cards pulled up. The first couple I think are going to be in the deck longer term into '08 and '09. The others I think are something more to test around with, or maybe a separate list can be built out for them. When I'll talk more about them when I get there, but I just think some of this stuff. I mean, obviously, it's built for Purple Luffy, not RP Luffy, technically. So some of it I think is just better suited for Purple Luffy if that's what you want to be doing. But these first two cards I think are going to be excellent utility for RP Luffy going into the next set. Uso Hachi being a 2K Straw Hat searchable. I want to run four of these. It's a 3-cost 3K on play. If you have 8 or more down in your field, rest up to 1 5 cost or less. So rest most blockers in the meta, right? For 3 down, it's searchable. It's a 2K. I'm going to be up to 8 2Ks again with this card because I don't think it is a game winning card to be able to rest down a Sabo or two can just be the all you need, right? Um, so yeah, I'm very excited to run this. Phenomenal card. Every purple straw hat deck probably should be running four of these. And then looking at the Sanji from '07. The '07 Sanji is phenomenal for, what we like to do too. But this is the best purple straw hat 2K in my personal opinion now. Onami, a great blocker. So 4 cost 2K. Obviously not the biggest stat line. 1K counter, straw hat searchable, Onami. If you have 8 or more down, trash 1 card, then draw 2 cards. So obviously, it's very similar to that queen effect. So one thing worth noting, if you don't have queens yet or don't have access to ST04s, if you get a hold of ST18s, Onami can obviously be kind of a direct replacement for queen. Queen being a little bit bigger can be very helpful for a lot of situations. I think going into '09, I'll probably be on like 2 to 3 of both. Um, because you can also play both on the same turn. You could play Queen, then play Onami, and filter a decent amount of your hand and stuff. So, um, I guess the sequencing there maybe it's a little better to do Onami. Depends on what your starting hand is, right? If you're super clumped up or not. Um, but yeah, just be able to get rid of a brick or get rid of a card you just don't need. Cycle into 2 more. Develop a blocker. Straw Hat searchable. Yeah, like I said, 2 to 3 of these I think will be. I don't think 4 will be necessary. Maybe if you're jumping off queens completely, you could just do that. But yeah, I think Onami is going to be excellent for the deck. Sungoro, on surface value, I thought this was going to be a staple of the deck, but going into the next set or two, I just don't think it's the best or necessary for us. So what he is a 5-cost 6K with 1K counter. When attacking, if once per turn, if you have 8 or more Don, draw 1 card. So obviously, with our RP Luffy's red purple Luffy's biggest weakness being the card economy on face value, this seems like it'd be great. What I expect or what I have heard to be the problem is that if you play this on your 5 down turn, you're still not going to be at 8 down the following turn. And if that's true, then in some cases you need this to stick 2 turns, or you're taking an inefficient turn like on your 6 down. You have a 6 down turn, you play this, and maybe you have 1 down left over, and that's fine. But again, it just kind of it falls into the awkward zone of our curve that even if we play it on 5 down, it's still not great. And I think this just kind of works better within the purple Luffy deck, and especially when we get to the Luffy Tarou. I think that whole strategy is a little bit better suited for purple Luffy. But that being said, I am going to test it, and that is what the deck list is built around today. Um, but I just think, again, other 5 drops into um, '09 will probably outclass this, but we'll give it a shot. We do like to draw cards. Speaking of card advantage or card draw, on play, or sorry, Zoro Juro, 4K 4 cost 6K with no counter. On play, look at 5 cards, reveal up to one purple straw hat card, and add it to your hand. So this is great again for I think the purple Luffy deck. Um, I don't think we can afford this many bricks into the late game. We don't want to be playing out two mid-sized bodies in the late game usually for an RP Luffy. And in the middle of your curve, this is fine, but again, it doesn't get the red cards. The radical beams, the John Bays. I guess your Nami can't be picked up off this either. It's not the end of the world, but I just think if you're not doing the Luffy Taro package, you probably don't want the Zoro Juro. Um, and because they're both bricks, like when bricks are no counter, um, it just seems like it's a lot of commitment for our deck when Purple Luffy probably just does it better. And honestly, I'm moderately interested in playing some Purple Luffy in OP 8.5. So if you guys want to see some of that too, I could probably start running that deck a little bit more. Let me know in the comments if you want to see some Purple Luffy gameplay. But for right now, I do have a package with it. But just kind of yet again, going into '09, I think we probably just stick on Nami, 4 Namis, and then, play just a slightly different package. And if you want to do this, Purple Luffy might just service you a little bit better, but we're going to test it out and find out. And again, maybe I should have started with this because I've alluded to it like 15 times now. Luffy Taro is kind of the new boss monster out of the Purple Luffy starter deck and kind of leads into what he's trying to do. He is a 7 cost 8K with no counter. On play, Don -1. Play up to one purple straw hat from your hand with a cost 5 or less. So you can Luffy Taro into Sangoro. That leaves you at 6 Don. You have your Sangoro on the field with this character, and then you go up to 8 the next turn and can swing and draw with it. So the list that I have for today is based around this as well. Again, I think with just the amount of cards that Purple Luffy gets to see, he probably utilizes this package better, whereas focusing more around Kid and going to those 8 and 9 drops might just be more productive for the RP Luffy game plan. But we're going to test that out and compare and go through that. So let's jump over to the deck list that I do have today. For this. So again, kind of very heavily leaned into the support from these decks. So definitely not like a fully optimized list, but I'm going to run some games into '09 with it. So just kind of a quick core. Nami, we still have 4 Nami because we are very straw hat built. Our ramp package is the 4 Zoros, 4 Mr. 2 core that we love to play. For our blockers, we do have 3 of the Kingdew and 3 of the Onami. That puts us on 6 additional blockers next to our 2K Sanjis. 8 2Ks, all straw hat searchable by both of our searchers, worthwhile. And I did split down because I did want to have my John base still. I'm on 3 Sangoros and 3 Zoro Juros to play off our Luffy Taro combo. And then we just got double new gates as some other top end options. I still want to have this and replacing the 7 cost kids with Luffy Taro. I am a little bit lighter on Rush than I would usually play. We have dragons or something else in some of our other lists. But this kind of is a little bit more of a board flood plan. Maybe we could tweak some of the numbers too to get a little bit more Rush or something else. But with all these searching, we should be able to get our gear 5s pretty consistently. And if we're able to flood the board and do something with it, might be something. So I'm going to jump into, I think I have to do an '09 lobby because the 8.5 stuff isn't legal for us in the West yet. But I'll jump into a game or two, maybe find a Dofi or something, and we'll run through some live commentary. All right, we got Dofi here, considered probably one of the big decks in format after all the starters come out and going into the next set, which is probably pretty fair. Um, you know, fair display based on the way it's been performing. And I think in general, our deck does pretty well into Dofi. A lot of people try and make it sound like it's like doom and gloom because they make bodies. But realistically, like the lead buffs and making them commit a bunch of extra Don does a kind of like into some of the raging matchups and things like that. We can keep up with a wide board if it takes a lot out of you to do it. Um, with that, they do have a ton of 2Ks, so we do want to swing to make that to require more of those out of them and be a bit more dynamic with this. Um, but in general, oh nice. Um, okay, so I still just want to ramp. So we go here, 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 here. What I was trying to say is I think I think the Luffy Taro build in general won't be as favored into Doflamingo. Um, it might be better to just play the purple Luffy if you're wanting to play the Luffy Taro engine, especially with this matchup being extremely prevalent. Again, I'm kind of making an assumption here because I haven't actually tested it out or played it that much. It just kind of seems like, geesh, that is a board, huh? We'll give it 2K. That card economy will be what you want to see out of it. So, but the fact that we do get to ramp right into new gates seems pretty all right as well. Do I want to KO something? No, because I want them to commit Don. Should have gone 6 first. Um, yeah, no. We'll leave that up. This way. Basically, I just had to say the Luffy Taro build disclaimer, so when I lose this game, I can still post it and not look silly. I'm just kidding. Um, this Newgate is yet again. If this Newgate posted killed 6Ks, we might really be loving this into this deck. But attacking with your blocker is just disrespectful. I don't have any counter, but it's disrespectful. Yeah, we're well. That suddenly might be something. Could play another Newgate. They tapped down their blockers. Very aggressive. Could play down another Newgate. 3 encounter. Does not bring confidence. Luffy Taro into Onami. Let's play the Nami first. Let's see here. Grab a Radical Beam. Seems great. 6 is still the largest. Luffy Taro is going to take 2. Could get 1 back. Okay, let's go here, here. Okay. Wanted to see what we get off this. Want that rat beam down. Say they want to give me 2 cards for their blocker. Kind of love they make counter out of this. Kind of want to make him do it. Make him do it. If I swung into life, they may have taken it. And now Newgate. I don't want to press life here. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna swing at me with the boa this next turn. If they do, I might be able to just kill them on a crackback with Luffy Taro, Newgate, and I guess we got to counter efficiently here. Uh, but if they're committing Don to swing at me, he's not windmill slamming a Kaido and drawing four, and that's pretty good. Um, also, at this point, with this full board, maybe he's willing to play over the Jinbeis to get 6Ks on board, but um, kind of not that bad for me right now. I guess he could play a law, but if he played the law, he'd have to replace something, then bounce something. I don't know. We'll just see. I don't feel great about my position in this game still, I can tell you that much. Nubitaro into Onami is nice, though. You can't deny that. Okay, another blocker. So he's probably going to lead effect. Or. Okay. That makes me feel like a freaking Martial teach. I was thinking a law was coming. Oh, gross. I thought this was an on play. Super gross. Okay, blocker counter. No blocker. Um, what if we just snuck a win? What happens if I start with a 10K? Couple different ways to go about this. I don't technically think we should be able to win without him. Maybe I should have thought more about this attack. I don't know. The magical thing about putting no Don on the new gate is that it immediately makes them think about Gear 5 if they know what we're doing. He doesn't want to counter out of this. If he blocks it, I can just rest it the other one. If he takes it, if he takes it. Now the problem is if I go 8, he probably just blocks. Did he give me two 2Ks if I go 8? Hmm. Question is if I can go bigger. No way that matters. If I made that up to 10, he probably blocks that. Then I have to pay 3 to rest. I don't think Gear 5 is going to be enough, though. So you could just, no way. Wait, yeah. We do still do this first because it will be bigger and demand more cards. Oh, I must. I mean, he might still have enough counter, or he might just start blocking now. But if this takes two cards out of his hand, which it does, then I go to my extra turn. We swing 6K for fun. Well, actually, it would have been 15K either way, but we took two more counters out of his hand this way, and now there's another one. That's GG. Oof, we take those. Um, yeah, I don't know. The Usohachi being able to also rest one of these blockers makes every decision like I don't know. Being in his shoes, I guess you still got to play around Jambé always, but I don't know. With that hand, I guess he doesn't have much of a choice. So, yeah, GG. And Luffy Taro with Onami was pretty good there. Maybe there is a little bit of something to this. We'll get another game in here. Seems like the perfect Luffy matchup would be a good second one to grab here. So, um, yeah. Going first or second here, I kind of want to take second from them to deny a turn to Magellan. Going first is pretty good as well, though. I'm going to go second because we're on the Luffy Taro build. Um, and I guess I'm supposed to keep this, aren't I? Well, it's tough because if I go Zoro on two, then I have to swing naked. That's fine. He shouldn't be able to like poly me. Actually, he literally could poly me. That's how this works. Oh, geez. I guess now for them, the turn one, if I let them go first, though, he can just take a life, play Zoro Juro, and get another card, which is pretty gross. Or swing 9K. Um, that's fine, actually. Not that much. Hey, Mr. Two, right on time. Never didn't have it. I should have not played that first, so I had the because I need the red beam down just to be safe. Oh well. I don't think they have any triggers that could punish me. I did just give them more information for free though. Sangoro for him. One on. You're gonna put a second one on. Oh, that's rude. I didn't want you to do that. I guess if this could pop a 6K is gonna be the story of this title of this video. If Newgate could pop a 6K, we'd have a Merry Christmas. Um, I mean, I think we just go 6K. Maybe a little bit of thought process to hold this up, but let's keep pressure on. So he could play something bigger next turn. You feel me? Probably definitely should have held that up, but it's fine. We'll rip some cards out of his hand. Give me another 2K. Love to see it. Then we do our Luffy Taro thing. Get another card. And with this, We grab a 2K and a turn. Yeah, I think them going up to 9 down probably would have been smart just to hold this up. Um, Maybe force them if they're going to play like a Kaido or something to KO this instead of swinging and then KOing, our Zoro. They're probably not playing a Rush Kaido this turn anyways, but just like kind of the line of thought to think about. It's not like you go 6, Rush Kaido, KO that, 10, and my feelings are kind of hurt. Oh, Kingdew's kind of good into Rush Kaido. I think I might like this card. I know bottom decking in Doflamingo, is going to be a thing too, but um, for that Lucci and for KO effects, I kind of didn't read this card. I go, here, see, that's why this doesn't bring joy. Um, Surely he doesn't Kaido this turn. If he does Kaido, I can't counter it anyways. So give him the 2K because Kingdew could be more valuable than that. Oh, brother, I can say I did not see that coming. Okay, Kingdews, man. Uh, okay, so plan here is. Oh goodness, the plan here is rough. How many 2Ks have given us? This should be decent. Please don't show me a fourth 2K. Or a fifth 2K. Okay. Yeah. I'm not mad. You're mad. Okay. Surely. Surely there's no 2K number 6. I don't know if I do this, I won't have Brad being down open. He really wants those cards that bad? I mean, if this is a counter, you know what? No, that's what we're doing. Give me your entire hand for the Sangoro. Thank you. No 2K? Come on. Come on. I hope this is a Rush Kaido. This is a Rush Kaido. On this Kingdew might be my new favorite card. Not exactly, but this card has been pretty good. Yeah, I'm surprised they were willing to give me their entire hand for that Sangoro and then left the blocker because, like, if they, yeah, it's an 09 card. It's a neat one. Um, this is why Ben Beckman's gonna take your spot, Newgate. I mean, I guess being able to pop a 6K every turn would have been pretty good. And he is meant to be used with like Marco and other things that do have additional reduction built in. But Ben Beckman being able to trash a 6K is gonna be beautiful. I think he's caught on to the fact I don't have 2Ks. Oh, that's fine. Now you can't play your chopper, which is a 1K. What's your other card? Is it an Onami? A law? Oh, okay. I'm not gonna get it. Got a little nervous there for a second. Um, well, I guess maybe Newgate is worth something here. Um, do we do that first? We got the Jambé finish potential too. Oh wait, he's at 3 life. He's got one card in hand, but he's at 3 life. Okay. Right. With that being the case, we are just going to kind of replenish his hand. I could develop two more blockers. Might just be best. Okay, well, what if we start with uh, start with 6. 6 goes. Do we go 6, 7, 8? Might as well, just in case he wants to block. It is very tempting to pivot and KO this law, but I think two more blockers and some cycle is just better. 8, kind of block, right? Again, if you go to 0, don't. This is going to be a video about how good Jambé is. Good block there. Now I think we deploy. The Newgate's proven to not be the most helpful. That's not the best draws either. But we do just make one more blocker. And bluff two red beams. Kingdew and Zoro could have been valid too. Um, yeah. I guess now with Rush Kaido, technically he could pop the Onami, but then I still have two blockers and some counter. So I'm not in the worst shape. I know one of his cards is that chopper. That could be another blocker for him. I think depending on how many blockers he creates and what he does, I might be able to just pressure him out of the game. Four is a lot. Oh, um, yeah, that's fine. I guess I gotta remember we're in '09 too, or this game is '09, so you could have the Sanjis that can tap blockers too. But that's a seven down character. The seven cost Sanji and the nine cost Sanji too does maybe add more validity to the Zoro Juro being an inclusion too. Our curve just gets so much smoother. It's kind of crazy. Um, 11. Okay, well, yeah. See, I think I math them out from there because I counter that, and then we go. Let's think. Let's think though. Hang on. So he makes that swing. Well, he just went like triple blockers. That would have been pretty funny. But let's pretend he did that swing. I counter out of that. I go to my next turn. I see he has a blocker, four cards in hand, one of which I know is. How does he have two more 1Ks too? Oh my gosh. Or two more 2Ks too. He wasn't even searching them up. Um, but then I can play if I wanted to go. Oh yeah, I could tap the blocker. So we do three down, tap the blocker. We have seven down left over. Six, six, eight. 8 plus 12 is 27. If we do three nines, first nine, he goes 2, 2, 1. Second nine, he takes, and we win. Uso Hachi's awesome. All right. Well, the Luffy Taro package maybe could be all right. Um, I think obviously I didn't play against like the heavy removal matchups, and Lucci especially probably gives this one a harder time, but we did get to play against two of the starter decks that I know a lot of people are eager to play. And even with the package that I hadn't really tested yet, we played pretty well into both. So, um, yeah, RP Luffy. Yet again, if you guys want to see me play, try and pilot some purple Luffy here or there, I might dabble in that as well. But our bread and butter is looking pretty good going into 8.5, and finally the world's catching on in '09, so they're catching up to us on that. So GG's y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. 500 subscriber giveaway, hopefully before the end of the year, and see y'all soon.